Usually takes about 20 seconds. What? That's what it says? That's funny. All right, well, we are that was a scary start. Good thing I got some help tonight. We're back again for another late night call-in show with me. It's Pete. We also got Brooks here tonight. We had a very interesting start there a couple seconds ago. It was looking like it wasn't going to happen. We were told that streaming was not going to be available, but it does seem like, I don't know, maybe Brooks can tell me in a second if we are actually streaming. And we're going to be taking some calls again. My plan was actually, I hear some calls are coming in already. I was actually planning on doing a morning talk show this morning. I had the weirdest morning, Brooks.
Did you?
Yeah, I got woken up at 5:40 by one of my clients, which isn't atypical. You know, news breaks in the middle of the night and they need me to read something.
Right.
So 5:40 rolls around. I get out of bed and immediately fall face first into the wall.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and
why?
So I was like, oh, I must be really sleepy. And I straightened myself out, and then I fell again, hit my elbow on the wall. I'm like, what is happening? I completely lost my equilibrium, like no ability to balance straight. I kept falling left all the way from the master bedroom, all the way through the theater, all the way into the studio. I kept falling over. I'm like, what is happening? So,
why?
I don't know.
What's going on?
I felt like, maybe I had like a weird crystal placement in my ear. I've heard of people with vertigo having crystal issues or something. Mm-hmm. And so I came in here. I literally had to lean on the wall as I was doing my voiceover. And then finally, so I did the voiceover, came out, edited it, sent it off. And then I stood up again, getting ready to fall left again. And it went away, thank God, after like 10 minutes.
Wow.
It was kind of a messed up
That's
start.
weird, man. Did that freak you out? It would freak me out.
Totally freaked me out because the fact that, I have no eyesight anymore, I feel like I need all of my faculties to function. I was like, no, I can't have one more thing going wrong. I can't have not the ability to balance anymore.
When you usually have very good balance.
Yeah, it's like one of my skills.
Yeah.
And I was really scared. That's actually, I've never done a short about this, but that's like one of the reasons as a kid I chose to never do drugs, because I knew I was losing my eyesight. I've never done any drugs. I don't plan on doing any drugs because I feel like operating as a blind person is difficult. Like I need all my brain power just to do a lot of things that other people can just very simply do. And I was half afraid of like losing any more brain cells. I figured it like would render me useless. So that's one of the reasons I was able to just say no as a kid and growing up.
Well, I think that's good advice for anyone.
Yeah.
We're all going to lose something, so might as well not do drugs.
That's that was my reason. That was my thinking. I just figured I'm running so close to the edge of functionality as it is. I didn't want to risk it anymore. But anyway, enough about my weird morning. I'll try a morning show some other time. But I felt like that was a signal. Like, don't do it this morning.
You can't stand up. You might not want to do a live show. I don't know.
It's the late night show with Pete and Brooks is here tonight. You're our first call of the evening. Who is this?
Hey, it's Pete. It's Dominic again, Pete.
Uh-oh, you're really quiet. Is your name also Pete, or am I just hearing an echo?
Oh, hold up.
Holy crap.
Can you hear me now?
I can definitely hear you now. Who's this?
Oh, it's Dominic. My bad. I don't know why I said Pete. I was just thinking of your name.
Can
Hey,
you?
Pete, I just wanted to say hi.
Oh, hey. Wait, is this Donovan the bowler?
Yes, this is Dominic the Bull.
That's your phone's a little rough tonight. I think, and we spoke in the last couple nights. We're going to try and move through some new. If you haven't called, you haven't had the opportunity. The past few nights that we've done this, I finish the show and then I get notes in my email inbox or Instagram or comments. People like, I was on hold, but I didn't get to get through. So let's try and get through some new people tonight. Hear some new voices, some new stories, new questions, new stuff, and we will take the next call on the late night show with Pete and Brooks. Who's this?
My name's Joseph.
Joseph, what's going on? Where are you calling from tonight?
Florida.
Florida. I get a lot of Florida calls. How's your part of Florida doing?
Good.
You guys,
That's good.
You guys are okay after the storms?
Yeah. I talked to my aunt, the one I talked about yesterday.
Oh yeah.
TikTok about. Yeah, and I told her about the OKO app.
Yep.
Yeah, and she told me to tell you thanks for it. She liked it and used it a lot today.
Cool. Yeah.
And she told me to tell you about Seeing AI. It's like this app that you use that can scan stuff where it can read it to you,
Don't you use that?
or it tells you different stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I use Seeing AI almost daily. It's a really neat app. It's by Google. It's free, and it allows you. It has a bunch of modes. You can hold it up to text documents, and it'll read the whole document to you. It even has a mode for handwriting. So if someone has sloppy handwriting, it's pretty good at interpreting that. And it also does products. So if you're in the store, one episode that you and I did when I was at the grocery store, I think did I use it that time. I think I had to cheat
You
eventually.
did, yeah. No, you did.
And if the trick is, it'll read if you can find the UPC code, it'll tell you exactly what product you're holding. But finding the UPC code is tough when you can't see. So I basically just sit there with the phone and I hold the phone up to every part of the package until it goes recognized product. But yeah, Seeing AI is a very useful app. It's one of the first things I tell people if they're needing help with accessibility is check out the Seeing AI app. It's free. This is the Late Night Show with Pete and Brooks. We're taking your calls. Who's this? Hello, hello.
Hey, what's up, Pete?
What's going on? Who's this?
What's up, Brooks?
What up?
It's me from Saturday night.
Yeah, what's up tonight?
Another day, another dollar, I guess.
Yeah. Anything new?
Yeah. Not really.
Just
Same old, I guess.
Just wanted to say hey.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
Hey, it is then. We'll try and get through some new calls tonight. We got had Brooks alongside because I like talking to him. He's a good friend, but also because I felt bad for the people in the chat last night, both in TikTok and YouTube. I was unable to get in there. It's kind of difficult for me to interact with them, so I figured I'd have Brooks in there. Are you in both chats at the moment?
I'm entering the TikTok one right now on my phone.
Do you have an account, or are you going in as me?
I have the Ashton surf coach.
Oh, it's a great video actually. Once you're done watching the stream, if you see Ashton's surf coach there, you should check out his pretty amazing video.
One of the best blind surfer videos of all time, if I do say so myself.
It was the video on YouTube is called "Touring Ashton's Surf Palace." If you feel like checking it out at some point.
You know what? I'm not in frame on TikTok. Let me move it really quick.
All right. Meantime, I'll figure out who the next caller is. Who's this?
Hello, this is Owen Childers.
What's your name?
Owen?
Owen, what's going on tonight?
Not a lot. I've just gotten back from a law school tour, and I'm somewhere in Tennessee. My mom's driving me because she wanted to go with me on this tour.
Are you excited about the potential of going to law school?
Yeah, but I actually I had a question for you, and I think you would probably be able to best answer this.
Sure, I can try.
I have a condition called retiniculobulbs, right?
Don't know that one, but okay.
And it's basically something that causes you to have a visual impairment, right?
Okay.
And I'm trying to work right now on an application for a summer camp that's specifically geared towards disabled people, but I'm having a hard time writing about my life experience and why I think that would make me the best, a good candidate to be a camp counselor at this summer camp.
Okay.
How would you suggest that I try to get that across?
I have found that over time, when I very first started, I'd done a very small handful of interviews over the course of my life. Once I started becoming comfortable sharing the fact that I was losing my eyesight, I did a couple newspaper interviews because I was a public figure already doing voice acting and working for some radio stations. And then when I started YouTube, I was very caught up in the entertainment, like I'd been in entertainment, and the videos that I knew were popular on YouTube were very entertainment based. And so I was trying to make them as entertaining as possible, which wasn't necessarily the best way to go. I found that the truth, the honesty, telling your real story, just being as honest as you can, because everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a really unique take on life, the way we approach things, the way we all everybody can look at the same exact thing and view it completely differently and come away with different takes. So I've found that the most honest take that you can present is definitely the best way to go. So I'd just say take everything that's true and real in your life and put that down in paper, and hopefully they'll see you as the person that you want to come across as, or you will come across as.
Yeah, because I struggle talking about myself sometimes. I'm not a terrible writer. Whenever I have to do writing assignments for a class or something else, I usually do very well, but whenever it comes to myself, I just kind of break down and find it hard because you're always your toughest critic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a tricky thing trying to write about yourself or tell your own story. I mean, that's why this guy here, Brooks, he did the documentary on me. It's Finding a Way, the Blind Surfer documentary, available on YouTube now. And because I couldn't do that, I couldn't tell my whole own story. I thought it was amazing the way that you sat me down, did some interviews, and put that together. Was it 28 minute documentary?
Yeah, I think it was 26. But yeah, I mean, I don't think, you can't really do a full story about yourself. I mean, obviously you do little shorts, and it's more about just like little things that happen to you. But for you to do a full movie about yourself, from start to finish, it's like you don't know what to tell exactly. You need someone else's outside perspective to like pull out the gems,
Yeah, but in terms of like the shorts, I just tell what happened. I tell the story, the truth of what happened in that moment, in that time, what I was thinking, what I was feeling, and for you, I'm not sure of the exact assignment that you're being given. If they're just asking you to talk about you, just be honest. Just tell them about you, and that's really all they want to figure out. It's a late night show with Pete and Brooks tonight, and we got someone up next. Who's this?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I've always wanted to talk to you. Oh my gosh. I'm freaking out right now.
I'm glad you got through. So we've never spoken before, I take it, huh?
No, sir, we haven't. My name's Annabelle. So what's it like being blind?
Well,
Is that a rude question to ask?
Well, you sound young. I think if someone my age walked up and asked me that, I might be like, "What's up with you?" But I appreciate the curiosity in younger people, because it is in my experience, it's a rather unique thing. I don't know a lot of other people with visual impairments. I've only actually started to meet some through doing YouTube and TikTok and collaborating with other visually impaired people, but I just don't know a lot of them out there in the world. So it's a fair question if you haven't had exposure to it. And it's not great. And you can look at it two different ways. I choose to look at it as it gives me a lot of very unique experiences that has caused me to work very hard and have a good work ethic and want to try and prove a lot of people wrong. Because generally, when people see someone with a handicap, especially blindness, I feel that they think that they're a little less capable. So from jump, I always had a chip on my shoulder and a desire to prove people wrong. So in one respect, I feel like losing my eyesight, even from an early age, kind of helped mold me into the motivated, successful person that I've become. But in another respect, I wish I never had to deal with that, because more directly to answer your question, it's hard. It's very, very hard. A lot of information comes to you visually, a lot, and you can take in tons and tons and tons of information with one glance that takes a long time to describe and relate to someone who can't see. So it's not easy and it's not particularly fun, but your attitude and how you take it will end up defining you eventually.
Oh, okay. There's also someone in the YouTube live stream asking everybody when they're on the call to ask if you believe in God.
I said that we're not going to address that. I'm sorry.
I generally don't.
Okay.
Politics and religion are two things that they tell you not to talk about at the dinner table, and I also don't talk about behind the microphone. I just find it to be relatively divisive, and I try and keep to positive stories, inspiration, giving some advice, having some fun, and don't want to argue with people over politics or religion, so I hope you understand that.
Okay, yeah. I was just trying to help the person because they kept saying it every maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
I feel like Brooks might be banging somebody.
That's how I answered him. I answered him.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for relaying that, though. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the information. I appreciate the questions, and thank you very much for the call.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, have a good night. It's good to talk to some new people tonight. I figured we're doing this at the same time. I've been doing it at the same time for about the last 4 nights in a row. I hope we can start to grow the audience a little bit. I will tell you that YouTube hates the fact that I'm doing these. As soon as I started doing the lives, the views on all of my videos went down.
Oh, you lose subscribers.
Yeah, I lose. YouTube is like, stop doing long stuff. You're a shorts guy, but I enjoy it. I think that the audience enjoys it, so I'm going to keep doing these. I'm having a lot of fun with them. I love getting to hear from people's actual voices and actual stories. So, and then who knows? Maybe YouTube will come around and think that people will like to listen to me in more than 59-second spurts. It's the Late Night Show with Pete and Brooks. Who's this?
Hi, my name's Wild Coyote.
What did you say? Wild Coyote or Wile E. Coyote?
Yeah, Wild.
All right, that's a pretty
Wild.
excellent name. What's going on tonight, Wild?
I just wanted to say, what's your favorite type of movie that you ever watched?
My favorite type of movie that I ever watched. I think I always think back to the very first Lord of the Rings. It was one of the do you have any idea when that came out, Brooks?
Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, the first one.
Early 2000s?
Yeah, I felt like I had enough vision back then, and there was those new IMAX screens that were just massive, like the size of a house. And I went with the girl I was dating at the time. We went to an IMAX theater. I sat in the front row, and the screen was big enough, and I was close enough, and the cinematography was so stunning that I was able to actually see most of it, not the detail that other people enjoy, but I felt like I got to see and enjoy a lot of that movie. And then by the time the next one came out and then Return of the King came out, my eyesight had crapped out pretty bad and I didn't get to really enjoy those as much. But whenever someone asks me about the favorite movie that I saw, I always think about that experience going to the theater and seeing Lord of the Rings.
Here's an interesting chat. Someone said, Young17 says he never unsubscribed, and it said that he had to subscribe to you and he hadn't seen you in a while.
Yeah, that's been happening. I feel like I don't understand why they do it to people that are subscribed to me. I know someone's on hold right now, by the way. We'll be with you in just a second. I'm in I think they call it an audit right now. Generally, I usually get about 1,000 new subscribers a day, 500 to 1,000. But then every few months, I go through this period where YouTube deletes inactive subscribers. But then in that process, I feel like they delete a bunch of active subscribers as well, because that's not the first time I've heard that. People that are subscribed to me and like watching me, all of a sudden they're not getting the notifications and YouTube has unsubscribed them. I will never, ever figure out the YouTube algorithm. I'm appreciative that it decided I was worth its time, that it made me popular to begin with, but it's been like this battle for the last 3 years trying to figure out what it wants, what it's doing, why it drops my subscribers. But anybody who finds that they stop getting served my content, I didn't die. I'm still here. I'm putting out 4 videos a week and doing live. So if you became unsubscribed, please hit the subscribe button again. It means a lot to have forward momentum on the channel. I appreciate it. It's the Late Show with Pete and Brooks. Who is this?
Hey, Pete. I
Hey,
have one question.
sure, go ahead.
Do you like Dr. Pepper?
I do like Dr. Pepper. Recently, it's been my soda of choice when I've been going out to restaurants. And then I've never back-to-back them, but I've heard Mr. Pibb is basically the same thing. Do you know what Mr. Pibb is?
No.
Have you ever had a Mr. Pibb, Brooks?
Yeah, it's the same.
Is it the same drink?
Cheapo version, yeah.
I remember I was driving across the country, I was passengering across the country with my cousin Mike, and we stopped in Missouri or something, and there was a Mr. Pibb machine, and I'd never even heard of it. I didn't know what Mr. Pibb was. So I bought the soda, not to drink it, just I wanted to have the can, and it was the the summer before I went into high school, and I took that can, I put it home on a shelf in my bedroom, went to college, came back 4 years later, I was done with college, and I picked up the Mr. Pibb can, and it was empty.
Oh,
It wasn't open, but it was empty.
that's really creepy.
Yeah, and it didn't leak all around, it just evaporated. So I've always thought of Mr. Pibb as a very magical
They should
beverage.
probably be notified of that.
Yeah, I don't think it was properly sealed, but that was
Ghost drinking.
the ghost just stuck his ghost lips right through the bottle and drank it right out.
Yeah.
I've always
That's the
wanted
only
Mr.
explanation.
Pibb. It's the Late Show with Pete and Brooks. Who's this?
Hi, this is Ryan.
Ryan, what's going on tonight?
Not much. I just had a question for you.
Fire away.
So I have Crohn's disease. So I've become more aware of just like disabilities and stuff, and so I just wanted to ask, does it seem like people that you run into are more aware of your disabilities because of their own?
That's an interesting question. I feel like personally, the people that I run into are more aware of my thing because I'm out on the internet sharing it. I want to better frame the question. Can you narrow that down for me? You just mean like random people or people in my life, or be more specific if you could?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So like for me personally, with my different like health issues, whenever I run into somebody else that has them, they tend to be more, trying to think of the word, but like complementary to my needs. And so I was just wondering if you have that same type of experience with people.
I think I might have a different experience, and thank you for clarifying. Sorry, I wasn't quite getting you in the beginning.
Yeah, no problem.
I find, and I've been making efforts. So I said I haven't met a lot of blind people in my life. The only ones that I'd met before were in the hospitals that I used to get treated at. And I found that the conversation instantly went to, doesn't it suck when? Isn't it hard when? Don't you hate it when people do this? Isn't it difficult when you encounter this situation? And there was just a lot of instant, and I want to say complaining, but you're commiserating a little bit. And I find that when I encounter other blind people, the conversation generally wants to go that way. I feel like when you're in a disabled category or whatever you got going on, Crohn's, I believe, is an autoimmune disorder. Is that correct, Ryan?
Yeah.
And I feel like when all of a sudden you are, and that's something you developed later in life, you didn't always have Crohn's?
Yeah, I've had it for like 5 years, and I'm 24, so.
Yeah, I actually know someone with Crohn's, and that is a very nasty disease as far as I know. It's very painful and a lot of doctor's visits, so I feel for you, man. That's rough.
Yeah, thanks.
And it's relatively new in your life, and your life has changed. And I do feel like there's that natural inclination to talk about like, geez, I didn't used to have pain every time I ate something, or, I didn't have to go running to the hospital all the time because of this and that. So there's this natural inclination, I feel, for people to discuss, complain, commiserate. But I've always, or I'd say more recently, tried to steer the conversation into more positive realms. Instead of talking about how hard it is to be blind, I talk about the experience that I've had while being blind. Something, I'll talk about the hiking trip that I took with Banana recently or something like that. Still not sure if I'm exactly addressing your question, but I hope I'm giving some good information there.
No, that is kind of what I was looking for. And I get that too. Whenever I talk to people about my different issues, it always seems like they want to steer it towards how miserable it is. And I don't always appreciate that, because it's like, I have a life,
Yeah.
and I like it.
I'm not just my disability. I used to do a lot of public speaking engagements, and I would always, of course, stick to I tell my life story, how hard I worked to overcome things and the things I've been able to achieve, and try and inspire other people to do the same. And I remember I did 3 in a row. This was back in Boston, and Banana was with me. I did 3 of them in a row. And right afterwards, people came up and started wanting to have those kind of conversations. They're like, hey, it's great that you've been able to succeed, but doesn't it suck how people look at you completely differently, and you have to work extra hard just to prove that you can be as good as the average person that can see? I'm like, yeah, but like, let's not go down that road. I don't like trying to focus on things like that. I think that nothing good comes from negative thinking like that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's really great.
Thanks for the call, Ryan. I wish you the best with everything you've got going on in your life. Positive attitude is going to keep you going a long way. How we doing in the chat tonight, Brooks?
A guy named Unsighted Creations says, can you let Pete know you truly saved my life and made me feel like I have a purpose as a blind person?
Wow, that's a massive thing to take in right there.
Yeah, pretty big. Thank you, Unsighted Creations.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the videos and trying to get some inspiration or something out of them.
And a similar on TikTok, visually impaired Nathan says, Pete, you've been such a guide for me and my vision loss journey. Thank you for the help.
That's really nice. It's nice that I'm actually really happy that people with low vision are actually coming onto the social media platforms, because a lot of the content isn't going to be for you. There's a lot of times when I'm scrolling TikTok or YouTube and there's just music and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So I think it's cool that those algorithms are finding people with low and no vision and feeding them the appropriate material that can help them out and be inspirational and make them feel like they're part of a community. So I'm grateful to TikTok and YouTube for that. Are we on Facebook tonight?
I actually haven't checked.
I was on it's facebook.com/blindsurfer Pete Gustin. I was on there, then I got kicked off there, and then I was on, then I got kicked off. Nothing I did, just YouTube or Facebook is really particular about the.
Can we get Mark
content.
Zuckerberg on the line, please?
Yeah.
Can someone ask Mark Zuckerberg to call?
Why doesn't Mark Zuckerberg like the blind surfer? Why doesn't he like blind people?
Yeah, he's pretty ableist from what I understand. So showing off his freaking foiling.
What's that?
He does his thing is the you know what the foils are? It's like a surfboard with like a wing on the bottom of it.
Actually, I thought for some reason I didn't think that he'd be a surfer.
Yeah, and so today he posts one where he's foiling, and then they did an AI generated video of like a giant rubber duck, like the size of a cruise ship.
Yeah,
and he's like foiling behind it.
Well,
that was his flex today.
That's pretty badass.
By the way, we are on Facebook and we have one live viewer.
Now it's you, so we basically have zero.
That was So now I just clicked off, so now we have 0.
Thanks for all your support, Facebook. I really appreciate it.
Someone says they found Unsighted Creation said he found you through Molly Burke.
Oh, that's cool. That was that and the collaboration I did with Anthony Ferraro was we introduced each other to each other's audiences, and that was both of those were super rewarding experiences for me. I got someone on hold. We'll take him right now. It's the Late Show with Pete and Brooks tonight. Who's this?
This is Jacob.
Jacob, what's going
on? I haven't been seeing a lot of your videos anymore.
Are you on YouTube or TikTok?
Both.
Both. Neither of them are feeding me. Thanks, platforms. I
was just coming here to tell you that.
No, I appreciate. It's nice. I appreciate the information. I have over the years of doing this. I got. It started slow. I got crazy popular. I was doing like between 5,000 and 10,000 subscribers a day for a period of time. Got to 1 million subscribers really fast. The whole time, Brooks, you and I were talking about this. What was it, Sunday afternoon? That people that get suddenly popular on social media quit their jobs and think they're going to be social media stars.
Yeah.
There's a million problems with that. First of all, monetizing social media has become increasingly difficult. Very, very, very difficult. And the other problem is the consistency. And I also feel like I'm very fortunate that my main job, my real actual life as a voice actor is consistent and steady, and it allows me to be a performer on a daily basis, doing 50 performances a day. Because if my entire I don't know. I guess I want to say self-esteem, or if all of me was wrapped up in how I performed on social media,
or if this was your only financial,
I'd go nuts
and broke.
Yeah, because and it's not just me. I'm not the only creator that has ups and downs. All the ones that I know, you're getting tens of thousands of subscribers or even hundreds a day, and then nothing, and then you can go 3 months like that where you're doing nothing. And for me, the most upsetting thing is I feel like I'm putting out a lot of valuable information, a lot of stories that can help a lot of people, the connections that I have with all of the people that watch my videos. Like, I love the opportunity to connect and to share my story and my videos with them. So when I'm in a downswing, I get bummed out that I don't get to share that, but thank God my mortgage doesn't rely on it.
Yeah.
I don't know what other subscribers do when they go through a slow period, because you will go through slow periods.
Hopefully they save their money, right?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm not sure if I think everybody just thinks like, I got 1 million subscribers, now I've made it in life. Like, it's not really how it goes.
Yeah.
It's a Late Show with Pete and Brooks. You are on. Who's this?
Hello, my name is Rebecca Levitt.
Did you say Rebecca?
Yes.
Rebecca Levitt, what's going on tonight?
Hi. So I have 2 questions for for you.
Sure.
I'm a vocal instructor, so I know what it's like hearing your own voice on recordings, and I wanted to know how do you think about your voice when you hear your recorded voice on television or on movies?
I think when I hear myself on the TV or on the radio or in streaming services, I think to myself instantly, that is the greatest voice ever been graced to a human being in the history of Earth, and I'm lucky to be the owner of it. That's what I think.
And how did you get to that point? Because I know that's not very common for people who are singers, voice actors. A lot of times when we hear our own voice, then we're like, oh, I don't like how my voice sounds.
No.
How did you think you got to that point?
Interesting question, because I've got an interesting answer for you. I said that whole thing with a smile. I'm laughing. I say I got the greatest voice. This is going to be a really weird origin story of my confidence, but John Travolta, the actor who was very popular from Saturday Night Fever, he joined the Church of Scientology a long time ago, and he has said in interviews that after joining the church, they gave him, they filled his head with, you're great, you're the greatest, you're going to be amazing, we believe in you, everybody believes in you. And all of a sudden he went into auditions really believing in himself, walking in not just thinking, oh, I'm going to try this. He walked into the audition knowing he was going to get it. And he started booking very shortly after that. Similar story, Jim Carrey. Liar, Dumb and Dumber, The Mask. He, early on in his career, started to try and manifest his success. He wrote himself a check for $10 million and put it in his wallet and said that someday soon he would actually be able to cash that $10 million check. And he didn't have he had some money to his name when he did that. He was a working actor out in LA, but just a couple of years later, he started landing those major roles, and then he did have enough money to cash that check. So I kind of took a cue from what those guys did in their lives. I used to go into auditions, especially movie trailer auditions, where I knew I was competing against the biggest, the best, the established, the top end guys. And I used to go into those auditions thinking to myself how privileged I am to be able to compete with them. This is so cool. I'm going to be heard by the movie trailer houses, but Brian Lee's probably going to get this one, and Scott Rummel's going to get this one, and all the other guys that Ben Patrick Johnson, these are big names in the voiceover industry, and I was just happy to be competing. And then I started realizing that I was losing the audition before I even submitted. That I needed to go in thinking I'm the best, and when you deliver with confidence and you perform with confidence, people can tell that.
Nice. I like that answer. My second question, a little off topic. I have a disease called congenital muscular dystrophy. It's a neuromuscular disease that I was born with, and it's a progressive muscle wasting disease. And I'd like to know how you've dealt with the frustration of learning how to do tasks again, because I'm assuming you had vision as a child, correct?
Yes. Yep. I was born with perfect vision. Started noticing it around the age of 8. And I know where you're going. So my disease generally was called macular degeneration. So it's a degenerative disease. Yours is a progressive disorder. And those are two of the, I think those are just some hard, instantly terminal is a pair of words you don't want to hear when you go to the doctor's office. But progressively and degenerative are also, because someone like you who has that and someone like me who has that the next day, and this is a tough way to live, the next, and I'll clarify or to qualify it afterwards, but in all straight honesty and reality, the next day is worse than the one before it because you've gotten worse. I lose a little bit of eyesight every day. Now, I don't notice it day to day. You probably don't notice your muscle wasting day to day, but you can look back over periods of time and say, I used to be able to walk this far. I used to be able to do this task. And so but what I decided at a certain point, knowing that it was going to get worse and worse and worse, and there was nothing I could do about it, is I would try and look into the future and go, okay, I'm going to have less sight next year than I've got right now. What does that look like figuratively and literally? And how do I begin compensating for it? I started using text-to-speech on my computer before I was no longer able to read it, so I became more familiar with it. I started using the blind guy cane just barely ahead of when I needed it. I could tell it was coming and I wanted to get some practice with it. So I try and look into the future, stay ahead of the compensations that I'm going to need to make. The mental challenge that comes along with that and the depression that can come with knowing that every next day is going to be worse than the one ahead of it is you try and if there's a scale in your head and in your life and in your disability and everything else, you just try and stack more positives each day. You know, I'm fortunate with the relationships and the friends that I've got, really happy with the job that I've got, the ability to share things on social media. I've done well for myself financially. So I try and look at those positives and try and keep the negatives down as best I can.
So it's not necessarily saying that they don't exist, but it's outweighing things.
Yeah. I mean, you can't ignore the fact that you're physically less able than you were a short while ago, but I do believe that my life has gotten better over time. I've gotten into a better, healthier relationship with Banana. I live in a place where I'm really happy. My career is done well, and I've lost all my eyesight, and that sucks. And that's hard, but that's for me. I try and keep that the footnote. Like I got all this great stuff. I don't wake up every morning going, crap, I'm blind. I wake up going, hey, I wonder what cool voiceovers I'm going to get today. Or like, I wonder if I'm going to have a good idea for a video. You have to make a very conscious effort to focus on the positive, because the moment you don't, life gets way harder.
Right. No, that's a very good point.
We got
I appreciate that insight.
All right. Well, thank you very much for the call. I wish you the best. I hope you can stay ahead of your condition as best you can as well. You got some, Brooks?
We got a $10 super chat from AKA Brett.
AKA Brett, thank you very much.
He says in all caps, get some Pete and friends with disabilities, with a praying emoji, 100 emoji, American flag emoji, thumbs up emoji, beer emoji, whiskey emoji, mushroom emoji, and eyeballs sideways emoji.
I like the mushroom emoji being thrown in there.
Yeah.
So what Brooks just did, by the way, is exactly how I get texts read to me. When someone sends me text, it's text to speech, and it'll do it just like that. It'll say like smiling face emoji, mushroom emoji, which basically takes all the fun out of emojis. Like if you can just look at a string of emojis as a sighted person, like that's kind of fun. Me, it just reads them all out to me. But.
And then earlier, Jay for $5 said, have you heard of the Meta AI glasses? I just thought it could be useful, or maybe not.
They are. So there's a handful. I guess there's some Ray-Ban glasses that are doing something similar, unless those are Ray-Ban and the Meta ones? Are they the same?
The same one, yeah.
Okay. I've been told by people within that industry that there's going to be more helpful glasses coming out next year. The Orcam device is another thing that... again, these are all devices, and I'm very thankful for the technology. I'm thankful for spatial recognition and text recognition and all that stuff. It does not replace the ability to see. Not that I would say I wish that stuff wasn't out there, but it's not, as sighted people, they're like, oh, well, they've got this camera now. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't put me on a level footing with people with eyesight. And the technology is really in its infancy. And also, everything that those glasses do, my iPhone can already do with seeing AI. So I don't know. I'm thankful that there's people out there working on tech, but I do feel like there's this massive focus on technology right now. Elon Musk with what's his latest program? Vision Quest? I don't know, whatever. It's like they're really dying to like stick some chips in our head. I wish there was just more funding directed at gene therapy, stem cell technology, maybe transplants. I would God, I would love to have a regular actual vision. I mean, if it came to sticking a robot eye in there, I'd take it because I'd rather have that than nothing. But I just feel like our society feels like everything can be cured by technology right now because we're seeing all the stuff that Elon Musk is accomplishing with technology. But I just wish more funding could be focused towards biological cures.
He should just focus on making robots less expensive.
$20,000 to $30,000 for your own Optimus Prime, or no, not Optimus Prime, just Optimus.
Yeah.
I wonder when that. You said that's going to come out like this year or next year.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
But
want a robot.
there was whatever that robot movie Will Smith was in. I forgot what the
iRobot.
Yeah. The designer of that robot, I guess, called Elon Musk out because he said the Optimus looked too much like the robot from that movie.
Ah, that's awesome.
Which it kind of does. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll give him that. But I mean, come on, dude. You make movies. This guy's creating robots. Like, chill out.
Well, the first Optimus, if you recall, was a person in a robot costume dancing on stage.
Was it?
Yeah. When Elon unveiled the idea, they had someone on stage just dancing in a robot suit.
Okay.
And he's like, this is what we're going to do eventually. That's why his idea of marketing, I mean, it works. He's a genius. He's a blessing to humanity, but his marketing is, he's out there telling people, I'm going to cure your eyesight. I'm like, let's not get ahead of ourselves, dude.
Adam Margolis says it's 2026. So.
All right. It gives me time to save up for my Optimus robot.
Yeah, 20 grand. We can all save for that.
2026, Optimus is going to be sitting next to me. You're out of a job.
Yeah, all of my jobs are getting taken by Optimus.
I don't know if Optimus will be able to take me surfing. I think he might sink.
Yeah, that might not be. That may be the one thing I can do. Candace Hoff with $5 super chat. You inspire so many people to try things regardless of their abilities.
That's cool. I'm glad that people take that out of take that from watching these videos. Thank you, Candace, and thank you for the super chat. See, you're worth your weight in gold, Brooks. Nobody was super chatting when I wasn't looking at the thing before.
Hey, man, we're taking super chats. We're talking to the chat. Anything you guys want to say, if you're afraid to call, just say it in the chat. You might get read.
Yeah.
If you super chat, it will get read. But if I like the comment enough, I'll read it.
I had someone on hold for the last couple minutes here. Let's see if they're still sticking with me. It's Pete and Brooks and Late Night Show. You still there?
Yes. Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Aiden?
Aiden, what's going on tonight?
Nothing.
What'd you want to talk about?
Do you think that you would be anything like you are now if you never went blind?
Probably not. I do think about that. I wanted to. I didn't have any older siblings, but I had two older cousins that I looked up to a lot. One went to Harvard and one went to MIT. And at first, I wanted to be like the Harvard cousin. I thought he was going to be a lawyer. He ended up going into consulting and finance, and he's done very well for himself. And my other cousin, Mike, who went to MIT, is an engineer. And I think I probably would have tried to follow in their footsteps. I think knowing that I was going to lose my eyesight and knowing that I had to have a very specific career path that would allow me to keep working, even though I lost my eyesight, focused me in a very different direction than I might have gone otherwise. So that's another thing. I try and look on the bright side. Maybe I would have found my way into the entertainment business if I could still see, but it seems unlikely. So I'm actually, if I could ever say I was appreciative for my crappy eyesight, I might be appreciative for the direction it pushed me in.
Okay, and if you could see anything, what would it be?
I answered that.
Classic question.
Yeah, I get that one a lot. I finally came to an answer. What was it, last Saturday when someone asked that? I said that I'd like to watch my own videos because that would be kind of fun to know what I've been up to, know what everybody else has been viewing all this time. Anything else? Are we still? So at some point, TikTok kicks you off after an hour of if no one goes over there and does anything. How long have we been on? Do you know, Brooks?
We're still on. How long have we been live?
It's 9:01. I think we went on at like 8:30 or something.
Yeah.
So maybe in like 20 minutes you can go over to the TikTok camera and just go hello because for some reason
you gotta press it. Okay.
You have to show that you're there, otherwise it kicks you off.
Okay, real quick, we got two super chats. One from John Pisinski for $5 with no message.
Wait, from John, spell Pisinski.
Pisinski.
I used to sail with a guy from Hingham, Massachusetts, whose name is John Pisinski. And I stayed at his house a couple times when I went from Winchester down to Hingham. I stayed with him and his family, and they were extraordinarily nice to me. And he was a really nice dude, and I haven't heard from him in 30 years. So if it's the same guy, What up, John?
What's up, John? Thanks for the $5.
Thank you.
And then AK Brett with another $20.
Whoa.
Love you, Pete and friends. Wish I was surfing in Oceanside. Brothers, God bless and prayers for y'all. Thank you, AK Brett. You're a generous fellow.
Very generous.
And I really like your enthusiasm in the chat, and especially your emojis.
Did I get another mushroom emoji?
Not in that one, but then he just did a non-super chat with another mushroom emoji.
That's great.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a funny story before we get to the next call of one time when I stayed at John Pazinski in his parents' house?
Yeah. I'll go touch the screen on the TikTok when we do that.
Okay. I was staying at John, and it was his parents' house because we were both like teenagers at the time. All right. And I went to go get some breakfast for myself. I was up early. John and I had to go sailing to a regatta at the Hingham Yacht Club. And I found the cereal. I just found myself a box of Cheerios. And then his mom came downstairs as I was opening up the fridge, and there were 2 white gallon containers. And I reached in, I grabbed one of them thinking it was like Hood milk, because Hood milk is always in a white container. So I pour the Cheerios into the bowl, then I grab the white gallon and I pour that into the bowl. And as I'm doing it, John's mom is like, whoa, 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 that's orange juice. And I was always so stubborn about admitting that I'd made a visual mistake. I was always so embarrassed that I was losing my eyesight, and I didn't want to admit it, and I wasn't comfortable telling people that I stubbornly said, "Oh no, I totally meant to do that. Usually I like to have some orange juice for breakfast anyway, so I'm going to have orange juice and Cheerios together just to save time." And she's like, "Okay." And so I actually sat there and stubbornly ate Honey Nut Cheerios in orange juice, all because I didn't want to admit that I made a visual mistake. That was when I was in a high denial mode, not wanting to tell people that I was losing my eyesight. But that was at John's house. I just remembered that.
Well, John, thanks for that. We got lots of mushrooms in the chat right now. People are loving the mushrooms. Thanks for the mushrooms, guys.
It's funny. We started you know who's a big fan of mushrooms is Josh, and just likes mushrooms.
I mean, they're a cool plant.
Yeah, he's been watching
mushrooms to the chat here.
He's been watching a bunch of documentaries. Apparently mushrooms talk to each other.
I saw this thing the other day where in LA they're doing this thing where they put these like electromagnetic transmitters inside of a mushroom, and apparently it generates noise, and these people all sit and they listen to the noises generated by the energy in the mushroom.
Wow.
And it's called mushroom concerts, and a bunch of people just sit around and listen to mushrooms make
what?
noise. Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's a real thing.
Lots of uses for mushrooms, apparently.
I didn't know that was a thing, so.
It's the Late Show with Pete and Brooks. My name is in lights. You don't have any lights. Sorry, Brooks.
No lights for me.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Who's this? Who we got on right now?
Hi, Pete. My name's Victor Conkler.
Victor, what's going on tonight?
Nothing, but I just wanted to ask you a question, like how to get successful on YouTube and like some pointers to help out.
Where should I go with that one, Brooks?
So how to be successful on YouTube?
Yeah.
Well, what do you like to do?
Like I like to play games and stuff.
Well, what games do you like to play?
Call of Duty and RPGs.
Well, Call of Duty is pretty saturated. What RPGs do you like?
Final Fantasy.
You should stream Final Fantasy on YouTube and Twitch, and then clip it and do funny reactions to what happens to you in Final Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, just do that. Stream on Twitch, clip your streams, clip the highlights, put them on YouTube. Learn what's called SEO. Do you know what SEO is?
No.
You ever heard of that? It's called search engine optimization. So a lot of your favorite YouTubers, what they do is they figure out what people are searching for. So like there's probably a lot of people searching for Final Fantasy on YouTube. Okay. So you put that in your title and your description, and you figure out how to optimize your video, and all of a sudden people search for Final Fantasy videos, they'll find your video. And just title them like what happened, what character, what boss you're fighting, that type of thing. And you might be able to build a little audience, Final Fantasy fans.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
I have answered that in the past. I tend to decline to answer it. It's Brooks just gave the so you're an SEO guy and a marketing guy, and you know how to approach these things. Technically, you know what works and what doesn't. Me as a straight up creator, the advice that I give to people, and it's pretty simple advice, is just do something that you love, and don't expect to blow up, and don't get discouraged if you don't. Only do social media if you enjoy doing the social media. If you're doing it because you think you want to make a living at it, or because you think you want to get followers for social clout, and that's the only reason you're doing it, you will not succeed, and you will be miserable, and you will give up. If you enjoy making videos, and you enjoy sharing your content, and you enjoy sharing your stories and connecting with your audience, you stand a much better chance of succeeding, because your heart will be in it. If you treat it like a business, it won't go well. If you treat it like a passion, it will go well. So that's the creative end of things, and the business marketing, both of us together.
There you go. You get the combo. Can I ask what Final Fantasy you play?
Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, wow. Man, that's old school for you. I know they redid it, right?
Yeah, I think, I've heard about it.
Yeah, because like when I was a kid, that was when Final Fantasy 7 came out, and the original one for PlayStation 1. And I played Final Fantasy 8 and 9. I was really into 9. If you ever, somehow can figure out how to play 9, I would highly suggest it. It's very fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great game. But yeah, that's cool. I know they remade it, so great game. Cloud's a great character.
Oh, do I?
You have the Cloud sword.
Yeah,
where is it? It's right here.
I actually hung it up this weekend.
I'm gonna grab it.
It is hanging. Just lift it straight up. It's hanging on a zip tie on a hook.
Got it.
Or on a twisty tie on a hook.
We got the Cloud sword.
Yeah, this thing is. We got this. Oh crap! I just knocked over everything. That was my bad. This is the sword? Is this like to scale? Is this like what he actually?
Yeah, it's way bigger. His is like 6 feet long.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't put it that way either.
Does that look familiar to you?
Me?
No, our caller.
Oh, he went away. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's your Cloud sword.
That's the one that get used in that game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And John Pasinski with another $5 super chat.
Is it the actual John, or just a guy with the same name?
Is it the real John Pasinski? We do not know.
I want to know.
But he says, it's me, Pete. Love following your stuff and seeing all your success. LOL with the orange juice. Great at memories.
It's actually John. Not to be weird or anything, but at a certain point, like when Facebook was first coming around, I was able to like find a bunch of my old friends. I did type his name in. I was like, oh, I can't find him. He was such a good guy. I had such a good time sailing with him. He was one of the people I tried finding when I was younger. I used to, and he used to be, we were competitive sailors. Yes, it's a thing. We sailed little dinghies. We sailed N10s, which was a 10-foot boat, and I went on to sail Snipes later on. That's really interesting to know someone from my way back past is watching and now giving me money. Thanks, John.
Thanks, John. Pro Matthew 499, he said this a couple times, so I'll appease him here. Can you tell Pete to keep up the good work and to ignore the negative comments?
I try my best to not listen to negative comments. It's very hard when you literally have to listen to the comments before you know what they are. I feel like if you could skim, you could be like, well, that one's going to be annoying. I'll skip over it. But because I try and stay active, I do listen to the negative comments. And I said a night or two ago, I actually made it my New Year's resolution to not let the comments affect my day. I feel like it's such a damn process. Like Casey Neistat, you and I, we got to film with him a couple of years ago, and he just lets those things roll off his back. He doesn't care what people say. He's got a really solid bulletproof ego. And me, when I get negative comments, I'm like walking around all day. I'm like, that person said my video was dumb. Like I take it personally. I need to be better about that. It's hard though. It's hard. Like you're putting out your stuff, your work, especially me. It's like my life. I'm putting out my life and myself. And when someone has something negative to say, I'm like, they don't like me. But then I have to realize that they just made one stupid comment and they're not thinking about it all day. So why should I?
Yeah, and I'm just going to say, if anyone wants to say skibbity in the chat, I am going to put you in timeout.
Timeout.
We just had an attempted skibbity raid. It's over.
It's over.
I am not going to permit skibbity in this chat.
Good. Is that the skibbity toilet thing that I...
Yes.
Okay.
I am the TV head man.
That's a terrible show for blind people because as I understand it, there's no dialogue.
Yeah, it's just literally like nonstop ADHD.
Lame.
Action.
Hey, do you have shoes on or socks or anything? You're just barefoot.
I have flip-flops.
I did. I was told because TikTok is vertical, I was told in the whole TikTok that I did yesterday, my feet were showing the whole time. And I was like, is that bad?
I mean, some people would say it's good, right?
I don't. So I've got this is people on TikTok or maybe on YouTube. There's a very it's small now. There's a good scab healing over on my foot, and I think on Friday or Saturday I'm going to tell you exactly how that happened. A hint: it was out in the water. Bit of an accident. It is the late night show with Pete and Brooks. We got someone else on the line. Who's this? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Lilith.
Did you say Lois or Laura?
Lilith. Sorry.
Lilith.
Lilith.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a common name.
Lilith. I remember Lilith Fest back in the late 90s. A music concert with all female headlining artists. But anyway, Lilith, what's going on?
Not much. I had 2 questions.
Sure.
What is you probably get this a lot, what is most favorite thing you've voiced for? What was the most fun? Yeah.
I think the most, it's funny, a couple projects come to mind. My very first trailer ever, I enjoyed, the very first one I ever got was being in the SpongeBob Sponge Out of Water movie trailer. And then I really enjoyed, I talked about it a little bit, so I won't do too much of it again tonight. I mentioned last night, getting to play Optimus Prime in a series of very high-end, very expensive commercials. Was really just a trip. That was an opportunity of a lifetime and definitely a resume headliner.
Yeah. And what was the goofiest reason that someone didn't believe you were blind?
Goofiest reason?
Because I bet you get a lot of people,
Trying to think of a bad reason that they didn't believe I was blind. I feel like I'm coming up kind of a blank here. So I always like to have Banana around. She can remember all my goofy moments. I remember I did have a girl.
What about the guy we were washing your hands? The washing your hands incident.
Oh, that wasn't goofy. That was just
goofy.
That was like scary.
Yeah.
A girl that didn't believe me. I went on a first date in Boston. I was using Match.com. This is well before I met Banana. And we were supposed to go to one restaurant. And what I did before I went on dates or before I went to a restaurant was I would get to know the menu. So I would know exactly what I wanted to order. And this girl, last minute, decided she wanted to go to a different restaurant. And I was like, crap, I don't know the menu of that restaurant. I don't know where the bathroom is. And so we sat down and we opened the menus. And I was like, I'm actually legally blind and I can't read the menu. Can you help me out? And she said something. She's just like, well, you could have just, you could have said it differently. And she got up and walked away. And I was like, what?
What?
Yeah,
what the heck?
It was one of the weirder reactions. I don't know what she thought. I almost went to like run her down and be like, what did you think I said? You could have said it differently, or you could have told me something different. I think that's what it was. You could have told me something different. But regardless, that she just like, I don't know. That was one of the weirder reactions. Like I was always uncomfortable telling people that I had low vision. I was losing my vision. And then, I had that incident happen. I was like, well, now I really don't want to tell people.
Yeah.
So
I imagine.
Yeah, that made me. And then I always felt like, so I was online and I was petrified to like put that in my profile. Online dating, when you have a handicap, is tricky. Like, do you put that
tricky
out there?
Anyway? You have that on top of it. Wow.
It is. Yeah. Online dating can be bizarre in a million different ways, but I feel like at least if I meet someone out in the real world, like so many times in the videos, people watch my videos, they're like, you don't look blind. I'm like, that's because I'm sitting in front of my camera talking to a camera that's 2 feet away from me. Like, of course I don't look blind, but if you meet me out in the world and I've got my blind guy cane and I obviously don't know where I'm going all the time, like it's pretty easy to figure it out. So if I meet someone in the real world, they at least generally know I'm blind. Whereas if you're meeting someone online, it's like, is that my headline? Blind, but super sexy. Like, what would I make that?
Yeah.
Anything else, Lilith? Anything? Just can you give me a lisp. Anything else, Lilith? It's gonna be part of our warm-up tomorrow.
I was thinking there are a lot of videos, and even in movies online or just generally, where blind people are depicted as, just stupid, kind of like they have absolutely no idea what's going on. Which, you can't see what's happening, but you're still a person, right? You're still like. you're just like anyone else, but you can't see. But a lot of depictions of blind people show them as just like, have it like
incapable. No, I hear what you're saying. I feel like Hollywood's been doing a better job with that. There was a show that came out maybe 4 or 5 years ago called In the Dark, had a very strong female protagonist who was a blind character, and they showed her to be very capable, but also were relatively true that when she was dumped off in a strange location by herself, was scared and honestly terrified, which I would be if I was dumped in a strange location. But mostly if you can be set up, this is a big thing for anybody, set them up for success. Like if you put me in a good situation, in a good position, I feel like I can thrive with the rest of them. But I do feel like Hollywood's been doing a better job as opposed to the, but Hollywood always they depicted minorities horribly a long time ago. They depicted the handicap very rough a long time ago, blind people included. And now I think they're doing a good job of putting them in a better light and trying to showcase more positive stories, stuff like that. Anything? What are the numbers looking like tonight, Brooks? We got
83. We're between like 83 and 100.
And then does TikTok tell you how many people are on with you?
I can't see on TikTok.
Dag nab TikTok. Yeah. I know last night, surprisingly, I have 2.4 million subscribers on YouTube and 750,000.
Oh, there's 54 on TikTok.
Okay, on TikTok. So I have 3 times as many followers on YouTube. But last night, I had more people watching on TikTok than YouTube. So step it up, YouTube. And I bet you we have 1 person on Twitch again.
Yeah, I haven't checked.
And maybe 1 person on Facebook as well. How long? We started around 8:30, you think?
Yeah, it's 9:18.
9:18. We'll take a few more calls. It is the Late Night Show with Pete and Brooks and my feet and his flip-flops. Who's this? Hello? I hear you. Do you hear him, Brooks?
Hello? Hello, hello, hello.
Is there anybody out? Say words. Should we listen to their ASMR? I always forget what order those letters go in.
ASMR.
ASMR. What does that stand for?
I'll look that up.
I don't know what it stands for. If I want to do an ASMR channel, what do I just like talk really quietly?
Yeah, it would be like themed. It would be like Pete Gusson talks you to sleep at night.
So what would I talk about?
You'd just be like, "You're a great person. You should sleep really good tonight."
So you have to talk about sleeping,
or you do like weird like popping sounds, or you like make like you would like rub Legos together or like open. You could do a blind guy unboxing ASMR where you like crinkle the paper and then you could like chew like.
People want to hear that?
They do, yeah.
I feel like I kind of understand the like talking quiet. I don't understand the noise. If someone making noises to me all night, I'd be like, "Shut up!"
AKA Brett with another $5.
Jeez,
He
Brett.
says, "Please keep getting some Pete, our brother. I will always love you, friends." AKA Brett, we love you. We love your enthusiasm, brother.
Brett's my new best friend tonight,
dude. AKA Brett, he's up to $35, man.
Oh, man, I think drinks are on Brett tomorrow night.
High roller, dude.
Thank you very much. I want to practice my ASMR.
Oh, so we have an answer. It's autonomous sensory meridian response.
What? Autonomous sensory meridian response?
Yes.
I don't even know what that means.
Brett loves the sword.
Yeah, Cloud McCloud with
Cloud
something. So if I wanted people to go to sleep, I'd just be like, your head is on the pillow. You're laying in bed. You're thinking about sheep jumping over a fence and you're going to fall asleep.
There's really weird ones where it's like girlfriend breaking up with you ASMR.
What?
It's just like a girl talking about how she wants to break up very quietly for like an hour and a half.
How could you go on for an hour and a half? I mean, you want to break up with someone? They must have a lot of problems in their relationship.
I know, but that's like the kind of weird ASMR there is. It's just very.
I want to do
odd.
that. You snore in your sleep when you put your shoes on and wear them all day without socks. It smells, and I can't take it when you come home. So I'm going to break up with you over that. Like if I did that for a long time.
You could do motivational ASMR.
You're a good person. You're worthwhile. You have a lot of value.
Don't
to the
stop
world.
trying.
Do I have to be quieter? Even like quieter?
Yeah, you have to be like really quiet and close to the mic.
Really quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe in you. You can do everything you want to accomplish.
And then every once in a while you just go like.
I don't like it. It seems creepy. I don't think I like it.
It's for a certain type of audience. You had to pick up a new audience.
I think, did we just lose everybody on that? I think I'm going to stick with my regular.
No, we actually got some more viewers. Someone says, have you ever met actress Marlee Matlin?
No.
Okay.
Who is Marlee Matlin?
Who is Marlee Matlin?
I think you're gonna have to Google that one.
People like your ASMR voice.
Oh, great! All right, it is a new thing. I just
don't put me to sleep.
I'll come back to this second. I just put someone on hold. The Late Night Show with Pete and Brooks. I'll do some more AMSQP after this. Who are we talking to? Who's this?
This is George from Port Angeles. Greetings and salutations. Thank you for joining me today.
George,
How
it's
are
really
you,
good
my
to hear
friend?
your voice. I'm very excited to talk to you tonight, George.
I'm very excited as well.
George, you got a good voice,
ring
too.
A few months ago.
Yeah. What's that, George?
I appreciate that. I said I'd give you a ring a few months ago when I was out and about, but now I have time to actually say hello to you.
Well, cool to hear from you again. What is going on tonight?
Well, to be honest, I'm sitting in bed. I got some things, and I got a couple questions. Like, I barely got into this live thing, and I just wanted to talk to you and ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
Sure, fire away.
All right, man. Like, how are you? Like, what's new? What's old, man? Like, what's going on with you? I want to hear about your life, man. I watch your stuff.
I do feel
just in general.
If people get fed my my videos every day of the week, they generally know what's up with me. I work for a lot of sports organizations and I work for a lot of news organizations. So this time of year, you got the Major League playoffs. The NHL has begun. NHL season started with my Boston Bruins losing to the Florida Panthers on opening night, October 8th. You got the NFL. Yeah, the NFL season is underway. I'm, of course, born and bred in Boston, so I had 20 years of watching the Patriots dominate, and now they're just dreadful, horrible.
Oh, man.
But
oh, man, tell me about it. Yeah.
Between those three sports teams, and we got an election just a couple and a half weeks away, and I do a lot of news coverage. So if you heard the beginning of the live, I started my day at 5:40 in the morning. I'm taking a little break.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, and that's going to be it's going to be like that for the next few weeks. It's going to be very busy. So
so you got some long days.
Yeah. And I actually I skipped one of the better surfing days of the year on Sunday just because I was basically exhausted. Brooks went out.
Oh, no.
You got some good waves, and you got a good injury, huh?
Yeah, I got smacked pretty hard in the leg.
Man, I watch you guys' stuff. I really do, and it's incredible. And whatever, like it's just I'm really amazed. I know you're running short on time. Can I continue with just another little thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So just yesterday, again, George from Port Angeles. Like, I'm gonna give you a ring another time when you have these, and I hope to speak to you again. But I got a guitar from a friend of mine, and I'm not going to go into details, but I paid about 1/3 of the price, and I've never had such a quality instrument. And that's what I do. And when I was playing it, I actually thought about you, like legitimately thought about you. I was like, okay, he said he's played music. He said he's done this. He said it like wonderful, beautiful. And I mean that it's truly from the heart. But like, how do you approach that? Like, how do you play music? Cause I mean, truthfully, like I look where my hands are. I was appreciative of the guitar and what I could do, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Who cares? But I really thought about you and I was like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Can you explain to me how you do music, I guess?
I never got particularly good at guitar. I have 2 guitars up on the wall, probably out of view from the shot, and a bass. And it was the learning curve, just like the learning curve with anything when you're blind is, things, it's a sighted world designed for sighted people, and things aren't made for blind people. So, you're trying to read tab, and of course I couldn't read tab like everybody else, so I'd have to memorize the tab, and then I'd have to, 4th fret down, 3rd finger, so I'd have to go thump, 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 and find the 4th fret, and then go thump, 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 and find the 3rd finger. And I was trying to learn, like the first time I picked up a guitar, I think I was like 18 or 19 or something. Maybe if I'd started earlier, I could have had more aptitude for it, but it was very frustrating up front. I mean, there's the way I operate my computer is all I have 2 mice, actually I have 3 mice going at the same time right now, and I operate my computer like a piano. I've got shortcut keys all over the place. I don't have to see it. I fly on that thing.
Makes sense.
Other people that edit, they've watched me edit. They're like, that's insane. You go so fast. It's because I don't have to look, but it's because I was doing it for so long. The short amount of time I dedicated to try to learn guitar was difficult. But, you know, I mean, Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, like they learn piano, they can't see. So it's definitely possible to do without eyesight, but I feel like the guitar was very frustrating. Like just you know, like when in the beginning you're just doing G, A, E, you know, finding the easy chords up top.
Yeah.
And then I tried to play like some songs from bands that I liked, and they're like 11th fret, 4th string. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3. And then like that's one note. And I'm like, balls, this is slow. It was really hard.
Okay. I love it. And again, last thing I just wanted to tell you, please give me this moment, is, you know, I thank you for listening to me or whatever. But a few years ago, about, I think it's like 8 or 9 years ago, I ran a marathon, 26.2 miles, the whole thing, right? Stupid. It doesn't really matter. I broke my foot and I still kept running. I had 13 miles to go.
Whoa.
I really did.
Did you feel it? Did you know how bad it was?
This is the part where people that know me know how dumb I am, and this is 100% true. I got about 10 or 12 miles in, couldn't tell you exact. Something was wrong with my right foot, and I didn't want to stop. So we're in the Pacific Northwest where there's a lot of trees. This is one of the most beautiful marathons that you can actually run. North Olympic Discovery Marathon, doesn't really matter. I was in major pain, never been in pain like that in my life. And here's the truth. I reached down, I grabbed a piece of wood, put it in my mouth, squished down, and walked.
Ooh.
I was set for about a 4.5 hour finish. They had a 6 hour time limit. I finished in 5 hours and 50 minutes. I broke my right toe, and I finished 13 miles with a piece of wood in my mouth.
Holy crap.
Fucking, yeah, it was dumb, but at the same time, it's like, I can pound it out, and like if I can do that, that's just barely a quarter of the power that you put out, my man. And it just makes me so just happy. And I just want to tell you that I did that.
Okay.
And listening to your life like makes me think about that, because I really did. And even my girl right now, she's listening to me right here, and she's like, yeah, you're a dumbass. She's like, you're an idiot, man. I was. I'm not going to lie.
Congratulations on completing that. I mean, completing a marathon without a broken toe or leg or any other injury is tough enough as it is. Those things will. The first guy that ever ran one, you know, he ran the 26.2 miles, and he died at the end of it. That's where it came from. So good job finishing it. George, thank you for the call tonight. It was great to hear from you.
We got a super chat from Tyler Nelson for $1.99. Hey, I'm legally blind and like the videos.
Tyler, thank you very much. I appreciate that. A quick note to the callers. I saw this in the comment. You all mean a lot to me. You're all very important to me. And someone was like, you don't say goodbye to everyone. I remember when I was a young kid in Boston, I was in high school, and I used to call a sports radio station. And after I was done making my point, they would hang up on me. And in the beginning I was like, they hung up on me. They hung up. They don't like me. I said something stupid. And it's not that at all. If you feel like you've been hung up on, I get a little mini notification in one ear that another line is ringing. And then I just, I try and move through, try and get as many people on as possible. So if anybody feels like they didn't get the opportunity to say goodbye, I'm just trying to, you know, get at the main point from everybody and then get as many people as possible an opportunity to talk. I hope that makes sense. Anything else going through before we go back to the calls?
No, it's 9:30.
So. All right, we'll take one or two more. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
We are on the late night show. We've been doing this. I've been doing this for like 4 nights in a row, and this probably isn't going to keep up, but I've been really enjoying it. So let's take a call, see who's there. Who's this?
Hey, it's me, Jason.
Jason, what's going on?
I had a question. Do you have any collections?
Any collections? Wait, did you ask me last night if I had, what was my saddest animal?
No, that's my cousin. He likes doing my voice.
So in other words, it was you. Do I have any collections? I used to collect micro machines. I collected little muscle men toys. Right now, you know what my collection is right now? I think I have a collection of surfboards. I got about 13.
What is a micro machine?
You don't remember? Probably before your time. There were
I've
these.
heard the word before.
So Hot Wheels are a car. It's like this big. And they're not too far away, but it'd take me forever to find them. It's little mini cars that are like the size of a quarter, basically, and there's a crazy amount of detail put into them. And the Micro Machines guy was this dude with the mustache. He was talking, look at the Micro Machines, the guys they were the most detailed and everything. Like all of his commercials were crazy, insane fast. So like these days when I'm doing a voiceover, they're like, we need you to go Micro Machines man fast. Like that was their gimmick. And so I had a ton of those growing up. But now I think my collection is a collection of surfboards.
Yeah.
We'll take one more call. We'll go through the chat. We'll do a wrap up. I got a question for people in the chat after this call, so everybody stick around. Last call in the Late Show with Pete and Brooks. Who's this?
Hi, this is Sierra.
Sierra?
I am calling from New England.
Cool. I used to live there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you mentioned Boston earlier in the video.
Yep.
So I have a bit of an interesting question. I am a researcher, actually, a sociologist, and I am disabled myself, though not blind. And I'm wondering if there was one thing that you wish researchers researching disability knew about blindness, what would it be? Because every disability is different with different experiences.
Oh boy, that's a tough one. And I feel like I have to think more broadly, like other than just researchers. I think what do I want people to know? I don't know. I've always come at my disability. I've got a video coming out in maybe a week or two about this, where I was so isolated in my disability. No one in my family had a disability. None of my friends had a disability. And I mean, I'm not talking like none of them were also blind. I'm like, I didn't know anybody with any kind of disability at all. I was the only one. And because I was losing my eyesight, I felt like I needed to get large print books for school before I needed to get books on tape. And when my friends were all getting their driver's licenses, I couldn't. So I needed them to drive me. And I felt like it was my job to be as little a burden on everyone in my life as possible. I felt like as much as I could do on my own, that would be less of an imposition on them. So many things I just had to work extra hard to not be a burden to my friends. And I don't know if this is an empirical thing that a researcher could put down, but I feel like the amount of stress that comes along with being blind, walking through an unfamiliar house. Someone invites you over to your house and you're like, please don't kick a table. Please don't trip on a chair. Please don't kick the cat. I feel like I don't think that anybody could ever understand how stressful and every moment, every circumstance, everything is. And that's why I began at the very beginning of this thing talking about why I never did drugs in my life ever. And it's because I felt like I always need to be operating it at you can only go to 100%, but I feel like I need to exceed even 100% just to be able to function in this world that is meant for sighted people. So I think if there was one thing I'd want researchers or people in general to know, that it's a stressful disease, and help is, for me, always appreciated when people can offer help in subtle or even not subtle ways. I'm always thankful and appreciative for that.
That's been similar to my experience as well, although I have a different disability, not wanting to be a burden. And when you have to function above your 100% just to reach the minimum baseline, and then you feel like no one else sees that I feel like contributes to that isolating feeling. And I love that nowadays we have the internet, we have YouTubers like you who are able to show what it's like and help other people know that they're not alone. And I just think the work you do is incredible for that reason. Just, we need so much more awareness and education. And I'm excited and happy to see that what you're doing just by posting your content. And I hope to one day be able to do that for people like me.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I really appreciate that. I know that growing up, when I was diagnosed, there wasn't even an internet around to find videos on. I had no role models, no one to look up to, no one to set expectations by. And it all turned out fine, but I feel like it was very difficult. And I feel like by coming online and sharing my stories, if I can make other kids' lives a little easier, maybe they understand that they're not alone. Doesn't have to be kids, could be adults as well. I find it talking to people with all sorts of different things going on, people who, you name it, and everybody's got something going on. I mean, everybody has something in their life that is stressing them out. And I feel like when we can talk about it and when we can relate to each other, it makes you feel less lonely, which makes it a lot easier.
Absolutely. We're all just humans going through this crazy whirlwind that is life.
That is
and
true.
We can all just show each other a little kindness.
Well, thank you very much for those words. I wish you the best in your journey. Yeah, go ahead.
Before you hang up,
Yep.
I would just like to say, remind everyone in chat to drink water.
What am I missing,
Yeah,
Brooks?
thank you for having me on. Have a great night.
You can fill me on that one in a second. Thank you so much.
That was completely irrelevant.
I appreciate. I said I was going to get back to. I wanted to ask the chat. So I want to get some. If we got a few people in there, would anybody tune in? The way my schedules are, the nights are going to end up becoming very difficult. Actually, would anybody tune in if I wanted to do this as a morning show? If I went like 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. Pacific, which would be 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern. I know morning radio is big because people can just get in their cars and turn on the radio. But I'm curious to know if anybody would actually be listening to YouTube in the morning. Like, would you put on the YouTube and brush your teeth and bring me into the shower with you? I'd be willing to try mornings. I love the opportunity to connect with people. And as my schedule gets really difficult over the next couple of months, I want to try and find time. We are going to be contractually obligated and have the privilege to do at least 2 more of these on weekends, brought to you by our sponsor. Banana will be here for that. Brooks will be here for that. So we've got at least 2 more of those coming up over the next 4 weeks or so, and I'll try and find as much time as I can. Like I said, every time I do these, my channel takes a hit, and then I lose subscribers for some reason. YouTube doesn't want me doing the lives, but I love doing them. I love talking to you guys.
Most people are saying that they're at work or school.
Yeah, I kind of figured. Morning radio is one thing. Morning YouTube might be kind of difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But what if I promise to do it like in the ASMR voice?
It could be Wake Up with Pete, and it would just be a gentle
good morning
ASMR wake up.
Welcome to your new day. You have so many opportunities lying ahead of you. It's going to be the most exciting Tuesday of your life.
I mean, you know what? Yeah, make your coffee. It's going to taste good. Folgers, the best part of waking up.
Are there channels that have like millions of people watching, listening to ASMR?
Oh yeah,
like really popular channels.
Yeah, you have to be a certain type of person to get that kind of views, though.
All right then, not my thing. Oh, what can I have? There's the volume. Wait, where's the volume? What the hell? That doesn't make sense. The volume's off. I don't understand why that's playing. Why can't I turn the volume down? Are you there? I was trying to go out.
Hello.
I was trying to go out all cool and smooth. The volume's literally off, but it's still playing. Well, good. We're going to go out on the technical glitch. I was going to tell everybody that my short tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Tomorrow on Tuesday, YouTube expands their shorts from 60 seconds up to 3 minutes. So on Tuesday, I'm going to be re-releasing Underestimate Me, my latest song, as a 3-minute short in the shorts feed. Like I said, I would play us out with music, but instead I'm going to play us out with some really complicated technical stuff where I asked Brooks to find the little red button on the lower left, put your finger